Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. I am doing a lot better now that I have this. If you are new here, my name is Sean Vasquez. And whether you're new here or not, I hope you will take a chance to check out my previous video, which I'm going to link up here, where I share that I am now going to be using this channel solely for sharing about my massage and bodywork business. If you are interested in my more creative projects, my vlog style videos, slow living, homeschooling, any of the concerts or adventures or hiking and things like that, please do subscribe to my new channel, which is linked in the description box down below. And I would love to have you over there as well. But for today's video, we are uptown at my massage therapy office. I am not actually working today, but I came here because I want to do a little cleaning and cleansing of my space. And this is something that I do frequently and make sure that my space is always nice and fresh and in a good energy. I thought this would be a great opportunity to share with you guys and talk about the more emotional, energetic side of this business. I have shared a lot on this channel about the business aspect of things, you know, how much money I make, how I built my business, how I draw in new clients, how I maintain my body and kind of prolong my career. But I haven't talked a lot about the more personal, emotional side of things. And I think it's a really important aspect of it, something that's not talked about nearly enough. So as we go inside, I'm just going to clean up and cleanse my space, and then we're going to sit down and have a really casual, cozy chat about that. So let's go. All right, now that I am nice and cozy and the space feels really good and uplifting and just clear of any kind of heaviness or negativity. First, I just want to say that I didn't exactly prepare what I'm going to speak about in this video. I wanted it to just be really casual and come from the heart. So I apologize if there's a teeny bit of rambling and maybe a lack of structure, but we're just going to go with it and hope that it comes off as authentic and really helpful. So I remember when I first started school for massage and my instructor was telling us that there was this emotional or energetic side to the business, as well as the actual physical body work that you were doing. That not only were you helping these people's bodies, but that there was a mental and a spiritual level and kind of connection with it as well. And at first, I'm not sure that I understood the weight of that or how much that really was a part of this role. And the space that we're holding here as therapists. I want to say this really all just does depend on how you run your business, what kind of therapist you are, because when I was in school, I was very strict, I was very much in my bodywork version of myself, and I wasn't super in tune with this energetic aspect of things. And I just feel like things were very cut and dry, and I was working on muscles and blood vessels, and a physical body was, I don't know why I keep doing that, but for some reason it's helping me get my point across. So anyway, when I was in school, I don't remember really having a lot of these emotional connections or energetic connections with the bodies that I was working on. But since then, as I've been in my own business for over 7 years now, I've had several experiences where I am connecting to my clients on much more than just a physical level, where I'm working on tissues and breaking up adhesion and, relieving tension and so on. We're actually working on many, many, many levels of the self, the spiritual self, the physical self, and so on. And a big part of that comes from just building a relationship with these people over time. Like I said, I've been in business for a little over 7 years now. A lot of my customers I have known that whole time. I have one customer who I even met when I was in school and working the clinic at school, and she followed me into my own private business when I came out and graduated on my own. So I've known her the entire time. And over that time, we've built relationships. And again, this is a thing where I want to say it's really important that everybody has their own boundaries and what professionalism means to me, and the amount of personal relationship that I have with my clients can totally be different from what you might be comfortable with or somebody else might be comfortable with in their business. Creating boundaries that feel healthy and that feel good to us, that's going to look different for everybody. So some people are going to want to keep that strict kind of, here we go again, professional relationship with their clients. Obviously, how I'm sharing here is just my own personal experience, and with my business, there is a very much a personal relationship aspect with most of my clients. There's so much more going on than just hands-on body, the physical work that we're talking about, and learning all of the biology and the physiology and the kinesiology and all of that stuff. No amount of reading books or learning those things can really teach you about the more spiritual, emotional connection that you'll gain with your clients. It's really something you just have to experience, I guess, or at least that's how it was for me, because no matter whether I learned about, being prepared for these situations where these emotions may come flowing, or somebody talking about it, it wasn't until I really started experiencing those things for myself that I learned my way of holding that space for people. So one of the most important things, again, is just having firm boundaries, knowing what you're comfortable giving of yourself and receiving, having those firm, clear boundaries. It's very important that you are practicing a lot of self-care and taking care of your own emotional state and well-being while you are holding this space for other people, and that you don't take that baggage onto yourself and allow it to weigh you down and add to your own pile of your own personal things that you're working through and stuff like that. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. You're going to have your clients coming in here and they're having a stiff neck, they're having tension in their shoulders, they're having headaches, they're having chronic pain, they're having sciatica, whatever it is. They're carrying things in their body from the job that they do, from the physical activity that they have, the overuse, the misuse of the body, and that's storing tension and creating pain. And that's a very real reason why we carry pain and tension in our bodies. But on top of that, when we deal with emotional trauma and pain and worry and fear and failure and all of the things that weigh in us, that stay and cause stagnation in our physical self, that creates these problems as well. And it adds to the physical problems that are going on inside of our body. So without even knowing it, when people come here and they're like, oh, my neck hurts, my back hurts, I have a headache, I have sciatic pain, they know that they're coming to deal with those specific issues through the use of body work. But a lot of times they're not even aware that they're also coming here to unload the emotional and energetic things that are causing that pain and that discomfort and that tension and that stagnation as well. When they get on the table and we start working on the physical body and that energetic field starts shifting and moving and flowing, a lot of those things just start to come out, and they'll be talking about their divorce that they're going through, or a child custody issue, or depression caused by chronic illness, or an issue that they're having with a family member, or heartbreak they suffered from a loss, or any number of things. And as they're sharing about these things, that's when I'm holding this space open for them. But I have to make sure that I'm not absorbing it and like holding it myself. Does that make sense? I'm having to kind of open a space up where they can come in and share, but there's like a doorway on the other side where we're letting it all out together. You have to protect your own self from taking it on, because it's very, very heavy stuff, and it's unhealthy for us as the therapist, just like I've shared before about taking care of our physical bodies, needing to stretch, needing to get massage ourselves, acupuncture, whatever form of self-care you practice, or all of the forms of self-care in an ideal world. But no matter how you take care of your physical self, you need to be also taking care of your emotional and mental and spiritual self, because you need to be able to let all of that stuff go. I've seen people burn out very, very quickly in this business for that very reason, because it becomes exhausting and draining to kind of hold that space with a closed door. If you're allowing these people to come in and come in and come in and unload and unload and unload, eventually you're just in this room full of tension and heaviness and stagnation. And so coming here today like I did, and just dusting and vacuuming and wiping down the walls and burning some sage and using special essential oil sprays and a lot of different things that I do to clear and cleanse this space, that's all a very important part of keeping it flowing very freely in here and not allowing, that piling up to happen to me. So some of the things that I do to help protect myself from absorbing any heaviness or negativity, and also to prevent myself from leaving any of that behind in this space, aside from the cleansing of the physical space, as we've already discussed. I make sure to practice grounding techniques before and after and during each session, making sure I'm very connected to source and the earth and grounded in my energy so that everything is flowing straight through. And I even have a special kind of mantra, and it's sort of weird to share this right now because I don't think I've ever told anybody about this before. But like when I get done with every single massage and I end typically on the back and I kind of have the blankets covering them back up, I do this little spiral because for me that's a shape and a motion that just helps me ground and center myself and the client and just kind of come back to the earth. And I always say in my mind, please allow whatever ails them to pass through me and back to the earth. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm feeling kind of emotional right now just saying that out loud because I'm not sure I've ever really said it out loud before. But yeah, I end every single session that way, and it's how I kind of shake it all off and we're leaving it here. And this moment, when we come out of this space, when I come out from behind the curtain, it's like a new day. And we build on each session, you know, like working on the physical self, working on different stretches and trying to get mobility back in joints and all these things. You know, we're building and making progress as we go. And we're doing that same thing in the energetic and more emotional side of the work here, but I'm not taking it with me out of this space when I go back to my family and when I go back about working on my own things. I guess that's why more than anything I wanted to make this video, was just to kind of highlight that, because it's not something that comes easily. It's not something that you just wake up one day and you know how to take on all of this weight and release it without it anything sticking around, any kind of sediment getting left behind. It took a lot of working on for me to find my place in all of that, to find what my role was for my clients, what I was willing to let it be, what my boundaries were, how far I wanted to push that line between a personal and a professional relationship with people, and where I kind of fit in that, you know? And it's unique to us all. And each therapist is going to hold that space differently. It's going to look differently. So I feel like I've talked a lot more about like the emotional aspect of it and not so much like energy work, which I'm not sure I intended to talk about in this video anyway. That's probably like a whole other topic that is for another day. Just energy work in general and kind of how that plays a role in my bodywork business and how I practice that and the different ways that I hone those skills and find resources to continue to educate myself and so on. That's all going to be saved for another video. So I feel like this is enough just talking about kind of holding an emotional space for people. Okay, so just to kind of sum up what I think was the basic structure of this little chat we've just had. Not only are we holding a space for physical healing, but we're also holding a space for a lot of emotional healing here as well. And I think that the line between a personal and a professional relationship is much more blurred in this line of work than it is in typical careers or jobs and things like that. Again, that all depends on your personal boundaries and however you want to run your business. The effect of working on the body means there's going to be movement of other things and energies and hormones, and that can shift emotions, and it can allow for an opening for the customer to kind of start sharing about things that they may not have even known they were going through, and things that they are not even sure they would share with a close friend or family member. And so in my experience, this happens quite often, and I think that it is wise for anyone going into this line of work or anyone already in this line of work to be prepared for those situations by having tools to keep your space energetically clean and balanced, and to keep yourself energetically balanced. So making sure that those are a huge, huge priority in your business is going to ensure that you don't take on any extra weight or negativity or heaviness or energy that's left over from your clients and from the sessions that you have. Because that's just going to make you feel better, and it's going to make your career last longer, and it's going to make you a better therapist overall. And I just want to thank you guys for being here, for taking this time to invest in yourself, in your career, in your interest in massage and body work, or just to support and help me out in my channel. For whatever reason you're here, I am so very grateful, and I thank you deeply. Again, if you are interested, make sure you check out my new channel, link in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. And as always, I love to interact with you guys, so feel free to share any thoughts or comments down below. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, make sure to do something to take care of yourselves. Bye.